What?
This is a 2024 Garfield. As the world has evolved, so too has the story around Garfield. We of course know that he's got his canine friend Odie. We know that his adoptive father, John. We know that he loves lasagna and he hates Mondays, but there's not a whole lot we know about Garfield beyond that. What's really extraordinary about taking an iconic character from the comics and putting him in a 90-minute story, you get much deeper into the interpersonal relationships of Garfield. So what I found interesting was how our writer and our director explored what makes Garfield Garfield, i.e. who is his biological father. You know, you get to learn a lot about this, your favorite character, things you didn't know about him. If I don't make it back, tell my story.
So in this movie, we get an opportunity to see how Garfield met John and how he adopted John, as Garfield tells the story, not John adopted him.
Oh, no.
The movie is really built around an unexpected reunion with his street cat, seemingly irresponsible father.
Come on, Junior. You.
Huh?
This is Vic, my father. We will find out that Garfield was, in fact, as he perceives it, abandoned by his father, left in an alley.
Wait here, Junior. I'll be right back.
Garfield gets very lucky, really enjoying the finer things in life. He's become even lazier. He's definitely enjoying the benefits of modern technology as a hard-working indoor house cat.
It was really fun to look for opportunities to introduce cell phones, streaming services, ordering food online.
Oh yeah, drone delivery.
You saw nothing.
Chris Pratt is funny.
We're gonna need the big scale!
Does she need to announce it to the whole office?
And one of the things he does is really bring the Garfield edge and attitude to the character.
I think this is a case of mistaken identity.
One of the things that was important in the production design was to give it scope and scale. The whole art department created a world that almost had to sit back to take it all in.
The art direction, everything in the movie is just spectacular. They take it to the next level, and they make it really look beautiful.
Everything that these animators have done in creating these epic landscapes. I mean, honestly, it's wild. It's so good. You really can't do it except for in animation. I mean, there's this incredible action set piece sequence on the end on a train that's just, it's mind-blowing.
There's absurdity, there's action, and there's heart.
It's got it all. It's really epic in that way. It makes you cry a little bit, it makes you laugh a little bit, it takes you on a wild adventure.
Dim the lights, get into your most comfortable chair, have family around you, all enjoy it together.
We need to toughen you up.
Hey, I know tough, Vic. You've obviously never been in an Olive Garden that's run out of breadsticks.
I have got a real treat for you today.
It's just a Dreamcast. When they were announced and we saw all their photographs together, we just thought, this is our movie.
I'm part of an extraordinary team. We got Samuel L. Jackson,
Hannah Waddingham,
Nicholas Hoult,
Harvey Guillen,
Ving Rhames,
Brett Goldstein,
Bowen Yang,
Cecily Strong, Janelle James,
Snoop Dogg,
and Chris Pratt as Garfield.
Dinner is served. It felt like a very natural fit for me to play Garfield. I love lasagna, I'm lazy, I'm very much an indoor cat.
We need to toughen you up.
Chris really understood the character and absolutely nailed him. You can sit back immediately and go, yeah, that's Garfield.
Definitely a Monday.
I spoke with Chris about capturing the nature of the character, but in his natural voice.
Working with Mark Dindal is just great. Him allowing me to take ownership of the role and to colloquialize a little bit, those things end up oftentimes being the type of magic that really can elevate a movie.
This is the universe telling me to take it easy on the fromage.
Is this the universe telling me to take it easy on the cheese? Okay, I get it, universe. Take it easy on the cheese.
That was pretty funny.
I'm Samuel L. Jackson, and I'm voicing Vic. We need to go. Come on, Junior.
You.
Hey, Junior. We were trying to figure out the mischief of that character and the street knowledge that he has that allows him to survive. That was too close even for me. One cool thing about doing this movie was getting to work with Chris Pratt.
Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Pratt had great chemistry.
Look, if jumping a train is too hard, just say it.
How hard could it be?
Exactly.
They played off each other beautifully.
Okay.
Oh, you should have seen your faces.
Jinx is played by Hannah Waddingham.
Oh dear, this is awkward. Family dynamics can be a bit of an emotional pretzel, can't they?
Mark came to me and said, we'd love you to play this kind of outlandish character, Jinx.
You boys have 72 hours, or else.
She's a great, big, over-fluffed white cat who, from the outside, is very misunderstood.
The way that Hannah plays her, it's very sympathetic. You have empathy for her so that she isn't just a villain.
Nicholas Hoult voices John and does such a great job.
Time to go to the vet!
And plays John in a way that makes you really feel for him. He's a bit lonely and was in desperate need of somebody, some family to share his meals with, and that's what he found in Garfield. And Garfield gets real comfortable real quick.
What? Where'd you get that chair?
Of course, my canine friend Odie, Harvey Guillen.
That was a challenge because it is not a verbal character. He has to express in barks and yips and yowls. And Harvey did a great job with that.
Odie, shape everything from the bottom 2 shelves into a dumpling.
Ving Rhames plays Otto, who is a ally that they meet along the way.
Too slow.
We also have Brett Goldstein as Roland and Bowen Yang as Nolan. They're henchmen for Jinx.
We'll be watching you. Like a hawk.
And Cecily Strong plays Marge Malone, who is the head of security at Lactose Farms.
Well, okay then.
Let's go have a look-see.
This cast was just stellar, and their ability to make the characters their own was really wonderful.
The heart of the movie comes through.
After viewing the movie for the first time, I was absolutely thrilled. It leaves you with a good feeling at the end.
Is he gonna be coming around for dinner often?
Yeah. He's family.
Hi, I'm Taylor Craneville, character designer on the Garfield movie.
I have got a real treat for you today.
Today I'm going to show you how to design some of our favorite characters from the film. Let me show you how I design Garfield. One of the main things with each of our characters from the film is we wanted to maintain what we would call the melting candle concept. We wanted all of their forms to not feel stiff. We wanted the forms to feel like it had weight to it. It was one of the keys for unlocking how we wanted to maintain all the beautiful parts of Jim Davis's design. His ears, we're gonna make sure they're nice and chunky. One of the coolest things that we were able to kind of run with was making sure we really found that beautiful muzzle shape that Jim Davis so wonderfully came up with. We definitely don't want to forget the beautiful, iconic stripes. And now we'll continue with his body. Make sure we don't forget how much this cat is eating. Put a little bit of weight in those skinny legs. They may not look like they can support that belly. I think with some big feet, I think we'll find some balance with this guy. Don't forget those nice triangle shapes. Jim Davis really laid down the ground rules for us that we could follow. Each part of Garfield, we decided as a team to break up those really nice graphic shapes in 3s. So there's 3 triangles inside the ears, 3 whiskers on each side of his head. There's even these 3 really fun small triangles inside of the muzzle shape. And last but not least, let's get that beautiful, iconic tail. Voila. And that is our Garfield. And now let me show you how to draw Odie. So we can start off with a light sphere for the head. And what we want to do is we want to start building off of that shape, give him a big, fun muzzle and a really cool nose. Have some fun here with drawing his eyes, you can really push how open that mouth is. One of the great notes that we received from Jim Davis was to make sure that we should see Odie as that lovable dog with his mouth open and his tongue out. His body basically is just one flour sack shape or water balloon. We kind of can mark two little points here where the ears can start to come out of his head. We want to make sure that those ears have a nice big bend in them. Maybe there's a few indications up top that his ears are pretty furry. And as we continue to work on this guy, he starts to come together. You know, Odie is known to slobber all over the house, so I think we can have room for a little bit of that. Garfield has 3 whiskers on each side of his head. Odie has 2 that show up behind his head, underneath his ears. And we also want to add his pretty famous black spot. His feet are rather massive. Also, I don't want to forget his wonderful tail. He doesn't necessarily have eyebrows, but he does have a nice kind of skin fold above his eyes that really help for his expressions. Can even come in and tweak the body a little bit. Your attention to detail in the final 10%, I call it, of a design really kind of makes a design stand out. And that, I think, will be a wrap on the lovable and very slobbery Odie. Now let me show you how to draw John. Find the center of his head, get the classic Jim Davis expression. As I look at this, perhaps we go for a more wide-eyed look on this one. We may change that later, but for right now, we'll get that classic little button nose. It doesn't show up so much in the comics, but we definitely had to make that adaptation and change for the big screen. I think I kind of want a panicked look on John. I feel like John probably has dealt with a little bit of ice cream on his head.
Oh, come on!
There's this really cool thing that Jim Davis did, and that is this kind of really fun, tapered sideburns that he does with his characters.
Press 1 if your cat is boring.
Try to imply maybe at least one of those eyebrows up there. Slight bit of color on his cheeks there. Okay, so that's it for the structure of his head. And now we can start to think about the gesture of his body. He might be a little bit more stiff, a little bit more hunched over. Neck might be coming a little bit forward. We can add a few quick buttons down his shirt. Can't forget his pocket here. Even when we look at the fabric folds of a character, you can kind of feel like they were a little bit melted, even on the arm. John's got a little belt, stylish watch that he's wearing. With Jim Davis's designs, everything had a particular rhythm to it and life, even something as insignificant as the hands. The feet, they're so chunky and squishy that we want to keep them kind of bubbly. Little cuff there in the bottom of the pants. Just a couple folds, maybe a little bit on the knees. One thing that we wanted to bring over was stripes, and we can put in a few fun details. You can really start to see what we call the line of action, one of the principles in animation. We want that to run through the character, and that is Jon Arbuckle.
Oh, I really missed you guys, and I gotta say, it's great to be together again, the whole entire family.
We had such a great time designing a lot of these characters, and even though there's a certain cat that hates Mondays, we as a crew ended up loving them.
To the animators who did the film, bravo. I could see the kind of energy and the kind of heart, the kind of thought, the kind of devotion you put into creating those characters. The art direction, everything in the movie is just spectacular.
Now let's take some time to learn how to draw Vic, our alley cat.
This is gonna be fun.
We really wanted to find a character that felt like it could live and breathe in the Jim Davis comic strip world. While Garfield is a little bit more round, Vic has a more squared off head and enormous belly, so we'll try to get that up front.
How do you get through this? You're bigger than me. Am I?
He has the classic ears, but since he's been on the street for a while, he does have a little nick in his ear. His nose is a little bit more squared off. Got a big personality, so we want to make sure he's got that nice, charming smile. Whenever the smile goes up, the top of that muzzle does seem to push up against the eye shape. We don't want to forget too, much like with Garfield, and those little dark triangles on the ears. We wanted Vic's whiskers not kind of clean and smooth, but to feel like they had really been roughed up. If we kind of make those eyelids a little darker, it really kind of brings back those fun ink lines that Jim Davis had in his comic strips. Legs that are thicker, sturdy, almost like a tree stump. Vic has some pretty cool stripes that run down his arms. I'm taking actually a brush that allows me to kind of smear with some texture, and it really gives a nice kind of fur look and feel to that. You know, a lot of times we look at a character like this and we think, oh man, the arms are getting too big, but really for Vic, he just has big arms. And so sometimes it's better to go for it. Ow! One of the delicacies that Vic enjoys would be fish bones. Over his chest, we have this pattern of fur and lines and kind of make a nice transitional pattern on his chest. This tail, it's a little bit more roughed up than Garfield. So we don't want to forget those really fun, playful lines. And as we take one last look, make sure all those forms are chunky. We've got his big arms, his big belly in there, his squared off large head. All right, I think this guy is ready for the big screen. Hope you enjoyed drawing Vic, our streetwise alley cat.
Oh, man! Hang it.
Skagam!
Jinx is our dramatic and formidable villain. We really wanted her overall character to feel like she was a bell shape. She has these kind of nice wispy hairs that kind of come out to the side of her cheeks. Of all the characters, she's got the most pointed triangle ears. So we're gonna see if we can get that on there. And we'll make a statement with her body here that really is just a bunch of fur that comes there and hits the ground. Her feet, most of the time, are hidden. So we'll let that fur come across like that. The silhouette of this character gets us off to a nice start. She has a really cool, unique face. Her muzzle ends up being pretty small, but her mouth can open wide. And perhaps one of these eyes is open more. Yeah, it's starting to feel more like Jinx now.
Perfect.
A sharp triangle shape inside of her ears. We can have a few flyaway hairs right there on top. Each nose seems to be tucked in really closely to those eyes. Really helps make it feel like it lives in that Jim Davis world. Let's see a maniacal smile from this gal. Get some sharp teeth in there. And we definitely don't want to forget her distinctive whiskers.
Perfection.
Eyebrows, or eyelids, I should say. And as we put those on there, those eye shapes really start to take shape. Keeping them a little bit more uneven is where I think Jinx starts to come to life. Make sure her arms stay very furry, but they do taper pretty small into her tiny hands. They're cute hands, but also they're hands that can do a lot of damage if they need to. Get that nice cool tail in there that has some really fun rhythm to it. All right, we're getting close. Kind of clarify the forms just a little bit more. Just a light indication of that necklace helps a lot.
Get ready! Almost there!
All right, well, thanks for spending time with me. She is looking like our villain.
Okay, boys. Go play.
Roland and Nolan are two new characters that show up as Jinx's henchmen. Let's figure out how to draw these guys. These two dogs, completely different silhouettes. One is built like a brick wall. The other, it's as if he's got electricity running through his entire body.
Cat is out of the bag.
Roland here can kind of set up basic shapes of his head. He is just made up of so many different round muzzle shape and his round nose up front and a million folds. His eyebrows are quite interesting. They're basically like fat folds, rhythmic, really fun folds that cascade down his cheek on the side. We don't forget the folds that are above his eyebrows as well. So you can't even really see his eyeballs. He's got chunky ears we can add to the top of his head here. We're really gonna turn him into that brick wall by emphasizing his really big arms here and his massive hands. Chunky yet short legs. So now that we kind of have his silhouette down, this is where things become really fun to maintain those folds through the entire character. Make sure they're a little bit uneven, patterns broken up just a little bit. We can start to see this guy come together.
Excuse me, you keep that thing in your folds. That is so disgusting.
But let's give him his electric friend, Nolan. Maybe he will fit in here. He kind of looks half alligator, half dog. He has a long muzzle and one pretty crazy eye. His ears are a little bit more spikier. They're flopped over, flopped forward. We really don't want to forget his aggressive, fun, gnarly teeth. We may even apply that tongue coming out the back side over here. His windshield wiper for his eyeballs. We don't want to forget his tail back here and imply that those legs are back behind there. You can add a few wispy hairs. Spots, distinctive spots on his character that we'll put around his thick neck there. One thing I almost forgot is getting a patch just around the eye.
I've been working on my attention span. Is that a hot air balloon?
And that is the brick wall Roland and his crazy-eyed friend Nolan. Another new character that shows up in the Garfield movie is Otto, our hopeless romantic bull.
This is about to get real.
We gave him a pretty substantial muzzle and a lot, and I mean a lot of fur and hair. He's also got some pretty cool nostrils to support that big ring, eyebrows that really set him apart. And don't forget his fun goatee.
I could watch this all day.
Because he misses Ethel, the love of his life, so much, I feel like what we need to do is give him a pretty substantial frown. I would say that Otto is one of our biggest characters. So we'll kind of come in here. I'm going to block in this really big shape for his back. He's got those big bull ears, like so. Think of the hair that's on top of his back there. Otto has one broken horn. We definitely want to indicate that on this side. And he has a full horn on the other side.
Ow! What was that for?
And because this guy sleeps outside, we're going to add some fun kind of moss and aging spots on those big horns. On top of his head and on his back, he actually has pretty long hair. Another part of him that's quite substantial, quite big, is his arms. And also start to define his legs, which are pretty short, but we can put a little bit of bend to really indicate he can hold that weight, all that weight that he's got. We'll come in, we'll make sure those eyebrows are really dark, see if we can get his other arm in here. The horn that broke off, he now uses as a supportive cane to walk with. So we definitely want to make sure we showcase that. And we can't forget his tail as well. He's probably got a few bits and pieces, things that are stuck inside of his long hair. And last but not least, it wouldn't be nature without a really annoying fly or two. And voila, there is our grumpy and yet friendly Otto.
Congratulations.
And that's how to draw these guys.
To aspiring cartoonists, animators, and everyone, I would say draw. Draw a lot. The more you draw, the better you get. It's that simple. Develop your skills until you end up in that spot, your happy place where you want to be.
Hey, everybody.
Oh, hey.
I'm Mark Dindal, the director of the Garfield movie. We had so much fun stuffing the film with hints and references to the original comic strip, sometimes even framing our characters to match specific panels. So, let's do it the way he would. Grab a snack and settle in. We've got garnishes.
Wait for it.
A la Garfield. Now, like every good pet, Garfield knows his owner's phone passcode, 061978. Must be an important number because it's also on the dumpster behind Mama Leone's. Psst, hey, John, maybe you should change your passcode.
Okay.
Actually, this number corresponds to the appearance of the very first Garfield comic strip, published on June 19, 1978.
Oh.
Now, Jim Davis, creator of Garfield, is all over the film. Although you might not have caught him.
Name one.
That may look like a normal license plate, JRD 728, but JRD are Jim Davis's initials, and July 28th is his birthday. There he is again.
Jim Davis, the perp is a cat.
That's right, Marge. Here's another one. In this flashback, Vic and Baby Garfield take shelter at Jim's Comics. If you think about it, Jim's Comics exists in a world created out of Jim Davis's comics. Wild.
Wow.
Did you catch Otto's first appearance in the film? Before Garfield meets him in person, Otto and Ethel appear on various Lactose Farms products in John's refrigerator. Garfield really is a big fan.
Oh, yeah.
On that same fridge later in the film, next to the Mama Leone's free breadstick coupon, amazing these haven't been used, you'll see a note reminding John to call Lyman. This is a reference to John's friend, former roommate, and Odie's original owner, who hasn't appeared in the comics since 1983. Sounds like they'll have a lot to catch up on. And if you know the comics, you may recognize that teddy bear as Pookie. Pookie! Garfield's best friend. With Garfield and Odie missing, John finds comfort in a bowl of branded cereal featuring Binky the Clown, Garfield's least favorite TV personality.
You're right.
Speaking of Binky, he shows up again here on the cake the waiter is carrying past John, a cake which Baby Garfield will devour shortly. They grow up so fast. Here's one on an RV adorned with specific stickers. Anna is the name of his mother. We've also got another Binky the Clown reference and tires branded Lazy Cat. Any clue who that could be referencing?
I totally get it.
Next up, does something about Lorenzo's music store seem familiar? Well, the name pays tribute to the late Gerald Davis Music, more commonly known as Lorenzo Music, the voice of Garfield from 1982 to 2001.
Because that's what he does best.
Here we have two true-to-life appearances of Garfield, as you would have seen him in the wild, clinging to a window in traffic, and as a gargantuan parade balloon. Later, as our heroes try to derail Jinx's evil plan, they board the RGR, the Rural Garfield Railroad.
You're confusing me!
There's a fun one here at the end of the movie. We see some familiar faces in attendance at Garfield's birthday party. There are some of Vic's friends, there's Nermal, Bullfrog, Chipmunk, and even Roadkill, who looks like he's doing a lot better than when we met him earlier. Oh, look at that. Liz showed up too, so you know John's happy. When the credits roll, sit tight. There's a special Garfield comic from Jim Davis himself. Thank you, Jim.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Okay, one last secret before we go. If you're still hungry for Easter eggs, this is just the beginning. For a second helping, watch the movie again and see what else you can find.
What now? Nice twist. Well played.
Tasty goodness is our motto, brought to you by
Athelinado! I can sing it better.
Garfield? Hody? John?
No. I'm John. Hello?
Huh. Garfield takes a bite of a protein bar. I mean, literally just ate a protein bar. It's perfect.
Somebody over there knows. So we're not done with you yet, buddy.
1400 Jinx.
Wait, hold on. What did you just say?
Okay, boys, clap, playtime.
Playtime.
Yeah.
Okay, boys. Go play.
Is that usable? Oh my god.
Arachnid! Spider!
Oh, dang it!
It's time to make a call.
Nolan.
Roland?
Nolan.
Roland?
Nolan.
Roland?
Nolan.
No, a proper meal with all 4 food groups: pasta, lasagna, cheese course, and flan. Excuse me. Sorry. Disgusting. That was just gross. So sorry. I can't believe that you guys heard that, and I apologize.
I'm New York, loud and proud. I love myself the way I am, and I'm a big, brave boy.
That's great.
Your head's got to be on a swivel at all times. Your head's got to be on a swivel at all times. Your head's got to be on a swivel at all times.
Meow. So is this the silliest thing you've ever done?
It's up there. It's up there, but it's fun.
Try sucking in your gut. I am. Try sucking in your butt and your gut.
I don't know how to suck in my butt. Why don't you try sucking my butt? Why don't you try sucking my butt?
Kids are gonna like that.
You hungry, little guy? You want a little more?
Whoa, you are a hungry little guy.
Okay, everybody! Where'd he go?
Stand up, see, join with us.
Oh no.
There are surprises around every corner at Lactose Farm. You need to stay alert. Too slow. A baby could have seen that coming.
You're confusing me.
Yes, what is it?
They're ready to rob the dairy.
Now that's amazing. I can't feel my tongue.
This is just what I had planned. Though I'm thrilled to meet you, I'm just a minx of the English brand. Dreamed of the cat show, till one night in the street, 'twas by chance I would meet a meow so discreet we had the world on a string. Till he cut down and left me empty-handed. I'm back, and I'm on the prowl. Revenge, what tastes so sweet right now. I'm back. She's back. And it's time for war. Watch me scratch, hear me roar.
She's a cat on the prowl, gonna bite me out. She's the queen of the streets, her name is Jinx.
That's me, I'm back.
I can't believe he double-crossed me. That really was so mean. We were friends from the start, a real work of art, the thickest of feline thieves. He came up with a scheme to steal all the cream, but I was the only one caught. I was locked in a cage where my heart filled with rage, and I developed this maniacal scream.
Hey yo, it's Doggy Diggity Diggity D. I'm bringing that biggity biggity beat. I got you, bitch.
No, shush. In case you hadn't noticed.
I'm back, and I'm on the prowl. Revenge would taste so sweet